there are many different types of grants. There's competitive and non-competitive grants. A competitive grant, you write, and everybody in the whole world can also write, and whoever has the best grant application wins. So that would be, I'm trying to think, 21st century grants, which are for after-school programming. I'm trying to think of in some of the other areas. SBIR grants, Small Business Innovation Research grants. They fund research and development of new concepts or products. A non-competitive grant is free reduced lunch. That comes as a grant. So you have 10 kids that are on free and reduced lunch. For all those kids, you get X amount of money. So non-competitive means basically however many, kids. I'm using education a lot because that's the school that I come from. The school I was a teacher. You count heads basically, so it's not competitive. You just basically have to have your doors open. Program grants fund things like, who's had a program grant here? Anyone? FIAD programming. Carol C. White is a programming grant where you do services, after school programs. It could be for parenting programs. It could be for substance abuse prevention and intervention programs. It could be to help support who had the K-9 program? Here. K-9 program. Building and equipment grants is probably more building and grounds. So it could be, how do we make our school more energy efficient? How do we get our students to become stewards of the environment through, some of the tech ed work? There are Habitat for Humanity grants, and I'm sure Greg Brown, writes for when he builds things. Computer and technology grants, those are all over to, whether it's to get smart boards, whether it's to train teachers in in how to use the smart boards, those types of things. Startup planning and development grants. There are grants to help business owners if you want to write a business plan to see if this is a viable business. There are planning and development grants so that a group can get together and share. We've seen a few of those for strategic planning. So if the Rural Health Initiative wants to work with the executives of the 3 counties plus any of the clinics, or health service providers of the counties, how do we bring those together to write a comprehensive 3-county plan? So that would be a transit or transportation plan. Menominee Indian has many U.S. Highway Department, Federal Highway Department grants because their Menominee Transit bus services at least 2 counties and can take anyone in those 2 counties anywhere in the state, just so you know. So if you need to go to the doctor at Madison or in Oshkosh or Milwaukee or Green Bay, for $20, you can ride the transit van. You sign up and it'll take you. You don't have to be native. It's for anyone. It's because they wrote a transit grant, and I can guarantee you that all the highway police and whoever the planners or the safety people for all of those counties and the 2 reservations had to come together. That was done through a planning grant. So they have a comprehensive transit plan. Operating grants, these are really hard to come by to keep your lights on. Those are really hard to come by. But the good news is if you win one of these, you can write in an indirect cost rate or administrative rate, which will cover some of those overhead things. That's not illegal, that's just what it is. There are sources in the public, private sector, nonprofit, or even tribal sector that you can get grants from. So my goal to you is don't always write to foundations. Diversify your portfolio, okay?